Hello, this is Scott Wicchano at Mobile World Congress 2017. I'm talking to Shamina Singh, who's the president of the Center for Inclusive Growth at Mastercard. So, Shamina, tell me a little bit more about financial inclusion as a general concept.
Sure, and thanks for having me, Scott. It's a pleasure to be here. Financial inclusion is a really important topic, especially when you're at a place like this, like the Mobile World Congress. There are about 2 billion people in the world today who are disconnected from any kind of formal financial services. And when you're a company like Mastercard and you think about technology as an enabler, and you also think about a world beyond cash, we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to get those people connected up into the formal financial economy.
And that's quite topical. I've been reading recently about an initiative from the Prime Minister of India trying to sort of digitize the whole economy, which is, you know, India's largely a cash economy, I understand.
Right.
So there's some quite ambitious stuff going on in this area.
Right. Well, if you think about it, 85% of the world's transactions are still done in cash. So we have an enormous amount of work to do. The demonetization work that's happening in India with Prime Minister Modi is very, very interesting. And there's a lot going on in the space. In fact, as part of that effort, we launched the first interoperable platform with QR codes to allow buyers and sellers to transact using something as simple as their phone and a QR code to buy and sell merchandise or services. So it's happening in India in a major way. Hundreds of thousands of small and micro merchants are accessing the formal economy in a new way, and it's quite exciting.
No, it is indeed. And how does your organization use all the data that's available to it to achieve its aims?
At the Center for Inclusive Growth, which is an independent subsidiary of Mastercard, we're all about social impact. And so what we've realized is that the abundance of data, as you say, that's out there, needs to also we need to make sure that there's also a social impact that's coming out of that data. There's a lot of good that can come out of making sure that the data that is produced in an anonymized and aggregated way can actually have positive social impact. So at the Center for Inclusive Growth, we have programs that we call data philanthropy. And the idea is, can we use Mastercard's analytics, in some instances Mastercard data, to really build out the capacity on the social sector side to make sure that data is becoming something that we use for good. Yeah,
understood. And lastly, for people who aren't familiar with the Center for Inclusive Growth, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure, and I hope folks will visit our website to get a really good understanding at mastercardcenter.org. But essentially, it's a place where we're taking the best practices and all of the learnings around financial inclusion and bringing them together around research, around practitioner, around data philanthropy work. And we're saying, look, this is a place for everybody to come, share their learning, share their knowledge, and engage with us in such a way that we can move from financial inclusion to inclusive growth, which is where we all want to end up at the end of the day.
That's really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.